Hi, I'm Max Fisher, and this is the first episode of Good Morning Geek TV. I'd like to tell you guys about the launch conference, which is basically a conference all about launching your startup and things along those lines. And it's really cool because it had two big parts. It had the stage, which is where there are VCs and judges judging startups and sometimes investing in them on the spot. And then there was the launch pad where all these different startups were showing off their software, hardware, and stuff at a small booth. So it was pretty much like the launch pad was pretty much like a mini CES for startups, which is a pretty cool idea. And I met some pretty cool people. There was some cool stuff. One thing that I'd really like to highlight would be a cool app called Moso. It was released the morning of launch. It's available for free in the Mac App Store. It's already in the new and noteworthy section. And basically it allows you to have on-the-fly video effects and titles and music and all this kind of thing. So it basically, in the end, it looks kind of like you edited all this with Final Cut and all this, but you did it all on the fly using just simple key commands, and it's free. I'd like to highlight that. That was pretty cool for me. So go check it out. Available in the Mac App Store now. Another thing that I'd like to say about launch would be how what trended there are a lot of life emulation apps. There is an app called Swerve, which was all about getting information about different events around you. So you could get the information, where to get tickets, how much the tickets cost, the phone number for the place, the times, etc. But in addition, it also aggregated Twitter and Facebook posts that mentioned the event, so in case maybe you didn't want to go because people are saying it's really crowded or things like that, so you can see what it really is like there. You can view all the guests that are there. You can post to Twitter and Facebook about the event. It's a very well-made location-based event finder. It's kind of like their tagline is a Yelp for location or a Yelp for events. I guess it's kind of cool, but it's all about having real life stuff. So going to real life things and then inviting your friends to those real life things. Another thing would be Huddle, HUDDL.me is the URL, and it allows you to create huddles of friends, and it's supposed to emulate meeting like casually in real life, and when you post something to the huddle, it goes out to all the people that are in the huddle. So it's an interesting concept that hasn't really been tried very much before. But one thing that stood out to me a lot was that it can use SMS to have a huddle with someone who doesn't have a smartphone, so like someone who has an old Nokia that doesn't even run apps. So I think that's cool. But having a huddle that is basically your friends, it's kind of like a group. I don't exactly know how they connect that to having like a casual meeting with your friends, but I don't know. On other news, the MacBook Pros were finally released this morning, the new line. I think it was a huge disappointment. It was terrible. The software and the design of the computer is identical. Nothing at all different. The only new thing would be a Thunderbolt port. Yes, you heard me right. Thunderbolt. And it's basically a new I/O interface that's ridiculously fast and 12 times faster than FireWire 800 and 20 times faster than USB 2.0. So, nice fast specs, but it's on 3 different computers in the universe. I don't know how many people are going to start building peripherals for Thunderbolt right now when it's only available on these 3 MacBook Pros. So I think that Apple is crazy trying to create another FireWire, but you know, they're Apple, they rule the world, they're gonna make it work. Now you might notice that the Thunderbolt is identical to the mini DisplayPort and looks like it and can also serve the same function. So if you do get one, don't be afraid that your LED cinema display or your adapters aren't going to work with it, because it does also work as a mini DisplayPort, but it can also do 12 times faster than FireWire 800 speeds, which I guess could come in handy. Well, at the launch conference, I met Robert Scoble, and I was able to play with his Motorola Zoom. In case you don't know what that is, it is a tablet running Android 3.0 Honeycomb, which is a tablet-enhanced version of Android that has a bunch of different cool features, and the tablet itself has a 10-inch-ish screen that's extremely widescreen, front-facing camera, rear-facing camera, Verizon 3G, nice touchscreen, pretty vibrant, 2 cores, dual core, and it's nice, I guess. But the price tag of $800 full retail price is a little ridiculous. I mean, really? I mean, people are ranting about how you have to pay $500 for an iPad. Are you seriously trying to charge $800 for an Android tablet? Good luck with that. I'm sorry. But on the software side of things, it was really nice. The tablet itself was extremely snappy, and all the 3D rendering was showed off in the home screen, and it all looked really nice. The browser was really fun to use. So on the software side of things, it was really good. Only little thing that bugged me was I'm used to my magical home, menu, back, and search buttons on my Android phone, and not having that was really confusing because you could tell it was an Android device, but when you had the lack of buttons, it was kind of like, how do I go back home? Because the little arrows on the bottom doesn't give you that much of a hint. As far as the hardware goes, the cameras are total crap. I mean, they're just terrible. They don't even focus. They don't even have a focus, of all things, come on. And then, I didn't like how widescreen it is, because I tend to use my iPad in portrait mode for reading, and when in portrait mode, it was kind of huge. I mean, think of turning a widescreen monitor sideways. So it's kind of like just like a strip. It looked identical to that. So it was kind of overwhelming having a landscape made device that's widescreen. It was interesting and new, and I didn't like it, basically. Thanks for watching this episode of Good Morning Geek TV. This has been episode 1 with Max Fisher, and I'll hope to see you next week.